Okay, here we go. They almost started the game while I wasn't looking. But it is going to be another PvZ with Theory in the driving seat again. It's going to be on MLG Dual Site, which is a cool map. I feel like not many Zerg players like this map, so I suspect Theory is reasonably happy about the map choice. Hello, good evening everybody. I'm Buttery Greg and I'm here with game number 2 of the Team Legion vs Team Air clan war. We've got Team Air's Art of War spawning on the right side as the green Zerg, green being my favorite color of course, even though he's playing Zerg, and I guess even though he's on the other team. And we've got Team Legion's Theory spawning on the left as the purple Protoss, who's currently on a 1-0 winning streak, having won his first match. So if we recall there, we had a little shout out to Jim Rising, who's Theory's love apparently, and Art of War has his own shout out to Marco. I don't know who Marco is, but wherever you are, Art of War loves you, man. So we've got Theory throwing down the pylon at his natural again, and some playful back and forth. Theory says that Marco is a dirty Terran, and Art of War says, well, you play Protoss, so look who's talking. I think these guys go to school together, I'm not sure, or maybe near each other. They appear to be good friends. If there's one thing I know, it's that Theory usually beats all of his friends at StarCraft, so hopefully he'll be winning this game as well. See exactly how it goes, but looks like he's going for pretty much the same thing as last game. He's got this probe down here at the ramp, and there's the drone trying to make a hatchery, and Theory's like, well, I can't allow that. Or can he? The drone probably could have made a hatchery a couple times there, yeah. He just lets it go down this time. Come on, Theory, what's up with that, man? No pylon block, nothing? In any case, it looks like he's up to 16 supply. Oh, he's busy trying to kill a drone in his own base. He really does need to make a Nexus, though. He's at 17. 17 Nexus, man? Come on. Alright, there we go. Back to 16. Nexus first against Hatchery first. There is a pool on the map now, though, so Theory's going to need to get that forge down pretty soon. And I think this is kind of a weird map to do a forge first on. This natural is pretty open. It really gives me flashbacks to Xel'Naga Caverns, but you can pretty much always do this wall to Nexus here, and throw down a cannon here, and it's going to keep you pretty safe. Generally, you'll see players will have to add a pylon back here. Oh, hey, right there, like I was saying, just to prevent Lings from running back here, and maybe a second cannon, so that you can really actually be sure to do damage through this entire region. Let's see here. So it looks like Art of War is just now adding his gas geyser. It's pretty standard for hatch first, only going one gas at the moment, so it's not going to be any kind of crazy quick tech for the time being. Just going to get some drones, get his economy going. Oh, what is this? Looks like he's setting up a proxy hatchery in Theory's base. Theory has, I think he's noticed this. This pylon went down inside his main pretty early, so he's waiting. He's going to throw down a cannon right now. Yep, there it is. Okay, so looks like this is going to finish slightly after this hatchery does, but Theory's got his first cell out. He's going to have the cannon up. I don't think he's going to have any trouble dealing with this proxy hatch. And Art of War really is probably just going to cancel this because he's forced Theory to invest in this cannon sort of in the middle of nowhere. Makes this kind of a cute build. Looks like Theory's got a bunch of probes that are trying to follow this one probe who was doing all the work, but he figures it out and tells them to get back to work instead of slacking off. So here we see Art of War has canceled his proxy hatchery. I think he canceled it. Yeah, he canceled it, and he's thrown down a third at his third base. Smart decision, of course, because Theory's playing his very economically focused build, so Zerg needs to be sure to stay even, which is pretty much staying ahead on bases. But there's no Overlord spotting here, and Theory's able to throw down a proxy pylon. Overlord is on his way. He should be there sometime tomorrow, although he can actually most likely see it with vision now. Yep, there we go. So he knows I could get cannon rushed, but he doesn't have any Zerglings out. So he's only got 2 actually, and they're both in Theory's base. So Theory is going to throw down a cannon behind the mineral lines here, because really he has no reason not to. This is within range. He's not getting harassed. He's going to add a second and third cannon. Wow, that's a serious commitment to this cannon rush. Adds another pylon. Very good. Nice thing about these cannons, of course, is that he can cancel them, but they do a great job reducing the amount of surface area that the first cannon here has, so he can ensure that it goes up before being destroyed, although it is almost going to die. He can just cancel it. There we go. Absorbs a lot of damage with that cannon. And ArtOfWar pulling out a pretty quick roach here, but he does cancel the hatchery, and Theory manages to cancel both of his cannons just in time. Lots of back and forth between these players. Their builds have been very interrupted, you know. Theory just now, we're at 7.5 minutes. He has +1 just started. He's making another unit, and he's just adding his extra gateways on. But ArtOfWar is stuck on 2 bases. He's trying to take another hatchery over here and this original hatchery, so he has switched it up into a fast 4-base first Nexus first build, and I can't fault him. You know, Theory has invested a lot of money. He gets it back by canceling his buildings, but he's invested a lot of money that prevents him from being very aggressive with his tech and production back at home up until now. So now he's going to be able to add on lots of gateways and stuff, but he wasn't able to do it earlier, so he's going to have fewer units. And it's actually kind of an interesting thing. I think Theory possibly expects some kind of a roachling all-in since he denied this third, and so he's investing a lot of money in these cannons that he doesn't need yet. He's going to need them when an attack comes, but that time is not going to be for several minutes, because he's thrown down these 2 extra hatcheries. So he doesn't want to make a bunch of extra hatcheries and then say, well, let's go for a 2-base all-in. You know, I'd rather make a bunch of hatcheries, make a bunch of drones, and then do a 4-base play a couple minutes down the road, you know? And Theory is forced, however, to invest in all this static defense. So this is actually a very smart decision by ArtOfWar. Take this aggressive expansion. We see Theory's going for something pretty similar to last game, despite all of the early game shenanigans. He's got his 2 extra gateways down. He's going to throw down, as I said, pretty similar. It's actually a little different. He's only got 3 gateways. He's going to go up to 6, and he's going to have a robo, so hopefully he'll get a warp prison, but this might just be for an observer, because we see the blink is on the way. So he could be planning on running over here, blinking into the main, trying to snipe some tech, and then blinking back out very quickly. Sort of hit-and-run Protoss style is very effective. And really, Blink is just an absolutely essential spell to have in PvZ, because it helps you deal with Mutalisks. It helps you overcome sort of the mobility issue that Protoss has, and you know, gives you that big harass option. So we see ArtOfWar's got all 4 of his hatcheries up. He's got a queen at every hatchery. He's got his layer tech complete. Now we wait to see what tech path. I would really love to see him go for Hydralisks, because Theory is mostly gateways right now, and he is making some immortals. So he's invested in Blink. He's invested in a lot of gateways. I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, like a Templar Archives kind of soon. And Hydralisks just do a lot of damage against gateway units. They're great against Stalkers, against Zealots, and even, you know, against Sentries as well. So he could definitely go quick Hydra Tech here, and then maybe do some drops. Hydra drops are always good. Maybe a Nidus Worm. Very easily prevent Theory from expanding further, and then get his Hive Tech, get his Broodlords out, and sort of be able to crush Protoss with his, you know, constrictive playstyle here. So we see it is actually going to be an Infestation Pit. Infestors are also a great choice against Blink Stalker play, because it completely shuts down Blink, which is really the only thing that makes Stalkers good. Otherwise, they're kind of mediocre units, and if they don't have that ability to keep themselves alive, you know, 2 to 3 times as long as their hit points would normally suggest, they're just not able to do enough damage and absorb enough damage to really be effective. We see that Theory has cleaned out this Zergling. He's set up some pylons. He's going to try to take a 3rd base at a pretty normal time, but he's going to have to deal with a lot of units from ArtOfWar. You know, he got these 4 hatcheries up, and he doesn't have them saturated the best, but it does give him a lot of production, and these early Tier 1 units are pretty cheap, so he can definitely afford to spend a lot of his production on these early units and pressure Theory while continuing to slowly increase his economy to maximize all of his 4 bases. Theory blinking forward twice, a little bit ill-advised there, as he loses a lot of those Stalkers to Roaches without doing very much damage. You know, he did some hit points, but he only picked off maybe 2 or 3 Roaches. He is going to move forward here, though, and he's going to be able to shut down the 4th base. Very good move by Theory. He doesn't want to let this economy get out of hand. It looks like we're going to see a strong counterattack from ArtOfWar, so Theory's actually going to retreat. I thought he might get that hatchery, but it looks like he's not going to. Some nice force fields going down. And Theory actually has a really good army for dealing with this. He's got a bunch of Immortals and Sentries in here. Sentries, of course, great for restricting Roach movement. He doesn't have to burrow or tunneling claws, so he'd be kind of screwed anyway. And he's got Immortals, which are great against Roaches. They just do so much damage. So Theory is going to continue the pressure, but remember, ArtOfWar is very quickly increasing his Roach count, and we've got some Infestors on the way. Pathogen Glands is almost done. First 5 Roaches coming out now, so Theory really only has about a minute before he's going to have a lot of trouble to continue this aggression. If a couple of big Fungals go down, he could lose this entire army very, very easily. He needs to be pretty careful here, but he's doing a smart thing, backing up. He's got his third base, in position. I think he delayed this Nexus by about a minute because he thought he was going to commit to a very strong push. He needed his money for for production. But it looks like he has finally thrown it down. He's going to go one more time, try to pick off this hatchery. It is relatively poorly defended, so he's going to get a free kill here, and it's just going to blink out and retreat with those Stalkers. Very good move because the Infestors are on the field. And we've got a big Roach Infestor ball moving towards Theory's base. Luckily, he's got some static defense, but his pylons are all on the outside. Not really where you want your pylons. More you want your cannons on the outside. I think he will be okay though in defending this. He's got, of course, he's going to have the warp-in advantage right here, but he's got Blink. He's got a lot of Immortals, and if he uses some good force fields, he can keep those Infestors out of range, which is going to let him maximize his Blink. Very nice there. Even blinks forward. Is he going to focus down that Infestor? Yes. He does get the Infestor, but a couple of Stalkers get fungled into place, and they give their lives just for one Infestor, which is not really a great trade. Meanwhile, we see Theory is throwing down the Robo Bay, and he's got +3 attack on the way, which is an absolutely insane upgrade to already have. He's going up against 1-0 Roaches with a 2-0 army, but with +3 on the way. Lots of Infested Terran coming out here. Very smart move by ArtOfWar. Theory instead blinking away to try to pick off those Infestors. He doesn't want to fight against these right now, although his Immortals are engaging them. Shit, he needs to get these Immortals out of here. They take a little bit of hull damage that they really didn't need to, but all in all, Theory is pretty safe. He's managed to secure his third base. And a little bit of a missed rally from ArtOfWar costs him a couple of extra lings. No big deal, though. Theory's Robo is almost complete, so he's going to be able to start getting Colossus very soon. And that's definitely going to give him the advantage he needs. Any kind of area effect is great against these massive balls of units tend to clump up. Ooh, wow, we see the Neural Parasite upgrade on the way, so it looks like ArtOfWar is actually going to be riding Infestors pretty hard for some time. And I can't fault him for that. They're a good unit. Neural Parasite, though, of course, is pretty tricky to use since the range has been reduced. You got to be very careful about just blindly running forward and trying to Neural a Colossus because your Infestors will get sniped immediately. We see he's retaking his 4th, and he's going to be going for another base. Formerly, what used to be a gold has been replaced with just a standard mineral base for a 5th base. And let's see what Theory's reaction to this is going to be. Looks like he is starting to get those Colossus out. I'd love to see some High Templar. They make a great counter to Infestors, and then he would be able to just continue this Blink Stalker Immortal army on top of that. Theory doing a great job, though, of scouting back and forth across the map. Looks like he's come over here and he has found this base, so he's going to force the cancel on this hatchery. ArtOfWar just waiting for the last minute, and ArtOfWar is going to go for a big counter push because he knows that most of Theory's army is out of position. Theory leaving a couple Stalkers behind, but it's going to be a big race to get back down here to his 3rd. He doesn't want to lose that. Although ArtOfWar is just going to run into the natural. I'm not sure I agree with that idea, because this is where Theory's army is most likely to be located. Runs forward, some nice force fields there, and loses a couple of Zerglings, not a huge deal. Colossus in a great position though. Fungal growth and a Neural Parasite on this Immortal. Very nice decision of Neural Parasite, although it does get picked off, but he got a bunch of good shots in. However, I think Theory's army is just a little bit too strong here. He's going to be able to pick off just about everything. Although these Infested Terran do come up, they have massive DPS, and they're able to snipe. Oh shit, I was going to say they snipe both Colossus, but this one survives with 1 hit point. He sacrifices the Roaches though, picks off the 2nd Colossus. So he's going to lose his entire army, and now Theory has a pretty strong advantage. He's got his +3 attack done, of course, and he's going for +1 shields instead of +1 armor. I think that's kind of an interesting decision, but at the same time, it does make sense. You know, shields regenerate, so that upgrade does really go quite the distance. Although most of these units are not shield heavy. They're not Archons, basically. So I don't know. I think it's okay, but armor would have been a great choice as well. So Theory's going to move up here, and he's going to snipe the third. Pretty much uncontested. Meanwhile, we have a bunch of Zerglings counterattacking, trying to run up into the natural or into the third. There's a lot of cannons here, though, and Theory can very easily warp in some Zealots or Stalkers as he needs to at the appropriate base. So it actually looks like ArtOfWar is going to be forced to retreat when he thought Theory was going for a counter, or not a counter, but just continuing his attack up into the natural. Instead, he is actually just going to go home because he has secured a very large advantage. And as long as he keeps Zerg on 2 bases at this point, it's pretty much going to be game, because Zerg has lost a lot trying to keep his more than 2 base advantage. Nice burrow here, though. Theory doesn't have any observers with him. Oh, there it is. Okay. He buys himself a little bit of time, but in the end, he loses his whole army anyway. And so now Theory can pretty much A-move into Zerg's base. He can just come up here and check this third again, and then move into the natural. There really is not much in the way of defense. We do see, though, there's 16 Mutalisks that have come out. Theory has no defense in his main, so he's going to lose these 6 probes. Big deal. Whatever. He's going to lose a couple of pylons as well, which is really the more annoying bit, because he could get supply blocked if he loses all of these. But in the end, he has a lot of Stalkers, and he's actually going to make what is pretty much the right decision and just go for the counterattack and kill his opponent. However, you notice this army doesn't have any Stalkers, so Theory is just keeping all of his Stalkers here to make sure that he doesn't lose his natural behind this. Very smart play. He knows he could win with just about any aggressive army, and Sentry Colossus, very aggressive. He needs to be careful, though, because his Colossus is stranded on the high ground. It's going to get killed by Zerglings. Okay, no, a little bit of micro there. Managed to keep the Colossus alive. Here come the Mutalisks, though. They want to focus it down, but Mutalisks do lose to Sentries in even numbers. Just a fun fact, but of course Sentry's not very mobile, so the Mutalisks kind of have to happen upon them. Mutalisk's going to swing down to the third. Theory's got a lot of cannons, but not very many behind his mineral line, so this is actually his biggest income base right now. He could lose a lot here, unless he gets a good number of units back. Losing 1 pylon. Doing a pretty good job, though, having redundant powers on these cannons. Really only losing 1 cannon per pylon. And he's just going to move into the natural, go for the base trade, because it really doesn't matter if he runs out of workers. There's absolutely no way those Mutalisks can kill his base as quickly as this giant Stalker Ball can. So we see a lot of workers died, but these Mutas really just don't do all that much damage. Big deal. Oh, never mind, the workers got pulled. They're actually running towards the Zerg base. Hey, you know, what better place to keep your workers safe than with your Stalkers? Interesting move, but it's not like it really matters. He's just having fun at this point. So we see the Mutalisks have actually managed to kill the Nexus. Not bad. Maybe the Zerglings did more damage. We'll see. But so the third base here has been cleaned up. It's not like it really matters, though, because the main base for our Zerg player is about to be completely wiped out. Even the probes are actually attacking now. They're saying, hey, we can't mine. Might as well try to do some damage. So at this point, Theory's trying to just clean up all of ArtOfWar's buildings. He finds this base has been built again. He's going to go for it. Burrows the drones because he can, basically. Really doesn't have much of an impact. And he's got a couple of hatcheries really going down just all over the map. And these Mutalisks are really just being annoying, running around picking off more static defenses, more pylons. But again, it doesn't matter because Theory has so many units. He's not going to lose them. He's just got these 3 Stalkers whose job it is to take out that base. Which they should be able to do by the time that Theory finishes scouting the rest of the map and killing off the rest of ArtOfWar's units. Theory throwing down the hidden Nexus inside ArtOfWar's main in one of the least optimal positions possible. Just because he can, basically. This is kind of the part of the game where I sort of lose my energy for it, because the game is very clearly over, and I think ArtOfWar should probably just GG so we can kind of like move on with our lives, you know? There's only so many jokes that I can make about what these probes are doing to this army. But finally all the hatcheries have been found, so he's going to be forced out of the game pretty soon here. Why did Theory pull these Stalkers, man? Just go back to killing this hatchery. Oh no, he must have rebuilt it, my bad. He loses his mutas though. Well, he's just circling them actually. So he's just throwing his Meadalisks away, just kind of for fun, I suppose. So there's the GG from Art of War finally. And Theory's going to take that as well, so he's going to go up 2-0. And we're going to wait